So what I'm going to do right now is kind of just talk you through what is going to be here.
Okay.
So guys, that right there, the hollow room, the sound, the background noise, and all that stuff, nasty stuff going on in this audio, that's what makes your videos look amateur. Even when your footage looks great, bad audio will make people click off faster than bad video every single time. Now listen to this.
Okay. On that day and for last minute. So we're going to start from the entrance, the way guests are going to come in.
Okay.
You had mentioned that you wanted your guests.
All right. I mean, it's not perfect, but this is way better than what you just heard before. Now,
You through what is going to be here.
Okay.
On that day and for last minute.
all right. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact step that I took to get to this point. So how to remove background noise, the echo, all in DaVinci Resolve. Even if you've never touched the Fairlight page before, this is the exact process I use on real client work. And by the end of this video, you will be able to clean up any audio that you have that is bad. Okay? Like I said before, it might not be perfect, but you'll be able to do a ton, and you'll be able to, restore at least some bad audio, if not all, to a good and usable condition, if you will. All right, let's jump right in. So first thing first, when I'm faced with audio like this, what's going on in my mind is, how should this sound? How is this supposed to sound? Because sometimes bad audio is not always bad if that's what you're trying to get at, what you're trying to achieve. For instance, maybe you're trying to get a phony effect on an audio. That by itself, not knowing the story behind it, will obviously sound bad. But if you're trying to achieve the effect of somebody on phone talking to someone, you want us to feel like we're hearing or listening to the conversation on the phone, then it makes sense. You would say that is the appropriate thing to do, to effect the audio like that. But otherwise, you want to make sure your audio is in the best position it should be as far as how it should sound. And this is the first thing that goes through my mind when I'm faced with things like this. First of all, she's talking to the lady in this video is talking to her client. She's walking them through the room for the event that they're having a wedding, and all the things she plans to do. She's a designer, by the way. Her name is Sharon. She's the lead designer at Events Deluxe. So she's trying to tell the couple what she's going to do, how all the plans she has as far as for their design for their wedding. We should be hearing what she's saying, all right? But obviously we can't really hear
through what is going to be here.
Okay.
On that day and for last minute.
As you can see, the noise in the background is just so nasty. She was mic'd up, but the venue it's not a good place to record audio. I'm just being honest. Yeah, it was shot in downtown. There was a lot of background noise. Cars are driving by. The room itself has so much noise, and that's the best we could do as far as audio. All right, but now we gotta try as much as we can to fix this. All right, first thing first. Before we get to any other stuff, I always want to go and engage the AI voice isolation is here. So
we're gonna start from the end.
Let's see what that does for us. So I'm just gonna engage it now. AI voice isolation.
Talk you through what is gonna be here.
Okay.
On that day and for last minute. So we're gonna start from the end.
As you can see, it's at 100, and you see it doesn't sound so good. The way that the audio is coming through right now. Yeah, fine, we don't hear the background noise, but it doesn't just sound so good. And as a rule of thumb, I try to stay away from making this 100. I don't even care, even if the audio is not really that bad. You stay away from 100. You want to push it back while listening for the natural tone, how it should sound naturally while keeping the background noise very minimal. So we're not trying to take out the noise in the background completely, because then to be able to do that, you have to put this at 100, and that means the audio is not going to sound good anyways if you do that. So what I do is I slowly push back. Sometimes I start from like a 15, 20 or whatever.
Entrance, the way guests are gonna come in. Okay. You had mentioned that you.
So at 23, I still hear the background noise coming through. So what I do, I just push some more. Let's try the 53. You see.
Gonna be here. Okay. On that day and for last minute. So we're gonna start from the end.
So I still kind of hear the noise there. I still kind of hear it. Let me see if I still have some room to push this. So I'll do let me go to like a, matter of fact, let me go to like a 77. Let's see.
Just talk you through what is gonna be here. Okay. On that day and for last minute. So we're gonna start from the entrance, the way guests are gonna come in. Okay.
Okay. I mean, like I said, it's not 100%, but I think we can start. I say this is, I mean, it's good enough for now. At least way better than it was before we engaged this here. So now, next thing I like to do, obviously, is not sounding.
Okay. On that day and for last minute.
It's really not sounding like great. So then another thing I like to do is to pull up my EQ and see what I can do as far as, trying to make this sound a little nicer. So I go there. My EQ's right here. You want to arm the EQ section. Just arm it right there. And these are different frequencies here. Now, I'm not the type of guy that just goes in and start pushing down, pulling up frequencies and all that based on what I read on the book or read in the book or something. No. Don't be that guy. Oh, they say, if you want to take out the lower tone or the muffled tone, just pull down this and pull this frequency. I'm not a fan of that. This is reality right here. So what I'm doing is I'm listening. Your ear is your best tool. Your ear will never lie to you. You learn to train your ears and not just go by what somebody wrote in the book and what they tell you in the book. I mean, great ideas. It's good to know, to have some knowledge about, what frequencies you should be messing with when you need to do certain things. But first thing first, besides understanding that, you have to ask yourself, how does this audio sound? Where is it supposed to be? What do I cut out? What's in the way of where it is supposed to be? Then you cannot now figure out how to cut or take those things that are in the way of where you're supposed to be with the audio, right? So don't just go in there and start pulling stuff down. Now, first of all, I'm listening to this.
Just talk you through what is going to be here. Okay. On that day and for last minute. So we're going to start.
So another thing I like to do is sometimes I just push frequencies up to kind of find where the nasty frequency lies, the nasty part of the audio lies. So I figure that out by pushing, some of these frequencies up, and when I find them, I push down. So you're pretty much doing that. You're pretty much cutting out, some of those bad frequencies. Okay. You always want to subtract before you boost. You always want to subtract, take out the bad frequencies before you boost. Don't go in and start pushing stuff up, okay?
Talk you through what is going to be here. Okay. On the entrance, the way.
See, it's definitely sounding phony at that part. So I'm not trying to do any phone effect here, so definitely should be pushing that so I know. So what I would, in a situation like this, I'll cut this So I'm pretty much trying to make this sound as natural as possible. Like I said, it's not going to be 100%, but it'll be way better. And I'm pretty sure you can tell from the way it sounds now, way better than where we're coming from. Okay, so I'm just going listening to the audio, what I think it should sound like, and I'm just trying to push these frequencies to try to to try to get to where I'm headed. Okay, so like I said, you have to do a lot of listening to be able to know that you're doing it right. I already know some stuff I should be doing from experience. I've been an audio engineer for over 20 years, so yeah.
That day and for last minute. So we're gonna come in. Okay. You have mentioned that you want to.
So I'm going back. I'm cutting that. I'm by doing this. I'm rolling off the low frequencies from 99 hertz. I mean, you can do from 75. Like I said, these things are in the books that tell you, oh, roll off 75 because, I mean, there's nothing happening there. You don't need it anyways. But yeah, like I said, your ear, pay attention, listen. You gotta listen to what you're trying to fix, the audio you're trying to fix. Train your ears. For this project, I have a music overlay. So right here.
Here. Okay. On that day and for last minute. So we're gonna.
And that kind of helps, mask out some of the imperfections in the audio. And yeah, it usually works. So like I said, I mean, it's not it's not always gonna be good recording every time. Sometimes you just have to do some of these fixes. I hope this helps. If you have a better way, a better way, please put it in a comment. Let me know. All right. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. This helps me a lot. And you can also put in the comment what you want to see next, what you want me to talk about or teach next. All right, guys. You have a blessed one, man. I love you.